Good afternoon and welcome aboard, campers of Chaverimboyz and all the others who are joining us for the show. Today is the 10th day of the show, the 10th episode. We're camping in. First, before we begin the other parts of the show, just a little bit of an update. I know everybody's cooped in as to what's going on in the world, in New York City in particular. Regarding this virus outbreak. So first of all, I don't know if you boys and girls were aware of the fact that there was a primary that was supposed to be coming up. Primary election is not the election for the president. That is happening in a year. This is the primaries to decide who's running for president. So basically, I'm sure, kids are familiar with the fact is that President Donald Trump is the sitting president, and he is going to be running for the Republican Party. And on the Democratic Party, they haven't yet decided who is going to be running. And a lot of people want to run for president. So it starts off with a lot of guys, and it gets narrowed down. People, their campaign, doesn't take off. And then comes a time that elections start. So the elections are state by state. Every state has their own date. And as the voting, goes, you get to see who is the one who is going to run for president. And a lot of states already had it. There was, if you heard, Super Tuesday, if you heard these terms, those were a bunch of states voting at once. And right now there is Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, two competing, two front runners, I guess, out of the whole pack. And New York was supposed to have the primaries coming up sometime, I think in April. It was supposed to be. And but anyways, the governor announced the other day that it's being postponed to June. So that's the first piece of news. Take a listen.
On the theory of risk-reward, we're supposed to have a presidential primary election that's coming up on April 28th. I don't think it's wise to be bringing a lot of people to one location to vote. A lot of people touching one doorknob, a lot of people touching one pen, whatever you call the new device on the ballots. So we are going to delay that and link it to an election that was previously scheduled on June 23rd. The June 23rd date is for state legislative races and congressional races. We'll move the presidential election to that date.
Now, in addition, being that their hospitals need more beds to treat the people who got sick with the virus, a U.S. Navy ship, a hospital ship, has just arrived. I think this was yesterday, at the harbor right here in New York City. This is a big ship with 1,000 beds and medical facilities. So it's like a floating hospital. It's huge. It's got a lot of beds, extra beds, and it's going to be docked off the harbor in New York. And the idea is for non-coronavirus patients, just regular patients, people, broken hands, stitches, stuff like that, surgeries, emergencies, to go to there so that it frees up the hospital to deal with the corona patients.
U.S. Navy hospital ship docking on Manhattan's west side earlier than originally expected to treat non-coronavirus patients. The goal, easing the load on city hospitals, overwhelmed by the biggest COVID-19 outbreak in the U.S.
We all watched something absolutely extraordinary, absolutely inspiring as the USNS Comfort entered New York Harbor, coming here to save the lives of New Yorkers in our hour of need. We've all been through a lot these last few weeks, and we needed this boost.
New York City's mayor says Comfort is just part of the plan to expand hospital capacity.
Not only did they actually have this ship, they also have another one in another hospital being set up in Central Park. I'm sure some of you visited Central Park. Right across NYU, they took a large area there and they put up tents and hospital beds and stuff like that for to be able to free up some of the beds in hospital to treat corona patients. So yeah, that's an amazing part of Siyata D'Shmaya modern technology, that you can just take a park, put up tents, and have a hospital there.
Behind me, a 10-city temporary hospital being constructed. The location here, directly across the street from New York's Mount Sinai Hospital. A hospital here, like so many, struggling to cope with the increasing number of virus patients. The roadway separating the hospital and Central Park, Fifth Avenue, a street that has some of the most expensive real estate in the world. Now, here at this location in Central Park, since Sunday, this tent city has been under construction. By the time it's done on Tuesday, there will be 14 tents that have been constructed. About half that many have now been set up. This is the work of a group called Samaritan's Purse, based in North Carolina. They have brought with them as many as 60 healthcare professionals, including doctors, nurses, and paramedics. Mayor Bill de Blasio says he's grateful for the help.
We're going to be using every place we need to use to help people.
Another big facility that's being used, to be able to prepare. And again, boys, just realize that this isn't preparing just in case Khalila, this, it's better be prepared, better be ready so that you don't get stuck. They prepared the Javits Center. The Javits Center is a huge conference center. Usually there's like shows there, like car shows. You can drive hundreds of cars into there, it's that big. And they took it and they made it into a makeshift hospital. And the Army Corps of Engineers, they're the ones who are coming and they're going to run this. They have doctors, they have nurses. This is the Army personnel who are going to be running this hospital inside the Javits Center, and take a look.
We went inside that new hospital at the Javits Convention Center with Army Chief of Staff General James C. McConville. He says that what the Army learns in New York could be a model for the whole nation.
We will win, right? Winning matters. Defeat the virus.
General James McConville has seen heroism before as a veteran of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
We're in a war against an invisible threat, right?
But the fight against COVID-19 is unlike any other in his long career.
It's kind of interesting when you take a look at it. The heroes in this fight are going to be the doctors, the nurses, the scientists, and the medical professionals.
We have 2 hospital centers that are here.
We met up with the general as he got a final briefing and tour of the new Javits Medical Station.
And we are no strangers to coming out and doing response.
It's designed to handle non-COVID-19 patients, freeing existing New York hospitals to expand their fight against the virus.
I share these things with you just because I know you're curious as to what's going on, and we know that Eibishter is with us and he's taking care. And we have to be thankful for the fact is that, Baruch Hashem, we have the abilities. The United States has the abilities to pull together these resources to fight this virus, and it's a fight that we're going to win b'siyata d'shmaya. Now let's move on to some more stuff that boys have sent in of what they're doing during the camping in. Take a look. Yesterday we closed submissions, so all the stuff have been uploaded. We're gonna run all of them here again, so you can take a look at them, just in case you haven't seen all the uploads. Of course, get everybody to vote. Vote for others. Take a look at some of the amazing creations that were put together by our amazing participants. This is Chaverimboyz Day 10. Let us now move on to our favorite part of the day. Story by Avrami Belaich from Kiev, who's now in New York. Take a listen to Avrami Belaich's phenomenal story.
And where we holding this amazing story, where we holding, and he hears a knock on the door. John. He goes to the door, opens it up, and guess who's there? His next door neighbor. And his neighbor is there and asks him, "Hey John, how are you? Do you want to come over to my house? We'll talk a little, play a little." He says, "Sure." He goes, puts on his coat, and goes to his neighbor's house. They go there, and they start talking about Yiddishkeit, about all kinds of different things. He starts explaining to him. He asks a bunch of questions, and his friend is explaining to him and helping him out. And the more he learns about these things, Shabbos, Yom Tov, different things, the more interested he gets in starting to do it. And they went on for a few hours like this, where he was learning more and more. When he was learning more and more, when he asked his friend if he could keep the yarmulke and the tzitzis, his friend said sure, and he gave him his own pair. It felt like $1 million. He went back home, showed his mother the yarmulke, the tzitzis, showed it to his father. His father was getting mad that he's getting more and more involved. He was scared that one day he's going to become totally frum. On the other side, his mother kept on going and giving him chizik, saying, go for it, learn more. This is our nation, our Jewish people. He started wearing the yarmulke at old times and the tzitzis. He started learning more and more. Every Shabbos, he used to go to his neighbors for the meals. He was still in the public school, so he couldn't go every day. But Shabbos, since there's no public school, he was able to go to shul and learn more and more. 10th grade, he left school. And they helped him out. They found him a Bal Tshuva yeshiva for starters, people that want to learn. And he went there and he started dorming there. His father was mad, but he got over it. He used to come home once a month. When he went, didn't know anything. When he came back, he knew so much. He made Shabbos meal in his house. He showed his mother how to light candles. And so on and so forth. He started getting closer and closer to Yiddishkeit. What happened was, when he finished 11th grade in this Bal Tshuva place, he left. He wanted to go to Israel, to the Jewish nation, to learn more and live over there. That's where it all started. His father didn't want him to go, and his mother also didn't want him to go. She said, there are enough Jewish schools here in America. Why go all the way to Israel, so far away? They were going back and forth, yes, no. Finally, he said he's going. He said in America it's very hard for him. In Israel, he'll go to a place, Bal Tshuva place, and he'll go for it. Okay, his parents saw that he was going for it. There was nothing to talk about. He set up a date 3 weeks from today, he'll be going. He ran to his neighbor to tell him that he has a ticket, that 3 weeks from now to Israel. His neighbor was so happy for him. He said, if you ever need anything in Israel, let me know. I have friends that live there, cousins, so on and so forth. For 3 weeks, and the day has arrived that he will be going to Israel. Continue tomorrow.
Thank you, Avrami Belaich, for this amazing story, keeping us all in suspense. Let us now take a break with a song by Eli Marcus, David HaMelech.
בייס חסד לי משיחוי לדוד ולזרוי עד ידו ילום מגדול ישוע ישמע לקוי בייס חסד לי משיחוי לדוד ולזרוי עד אוי לא דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים ישוע ישמע לקוי בייס חסד לי משיחוי לדוד ולזרעו עד אדוני מגדול ישוע ישמע לקוי בייס חסד לי משיחוי לדוד ולזרעו עד אוי לא דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים דוד המלך הוא מלך ישראל דוד המלך חי וקיים
Now we move on to the live part of the show. I ask questions, you have answers, and what should I tell you? Kinalach, you guys beat me every day. Every day I try to make the question a little bit harder, and you still beat me every day. Today we're going to focus on brochas. The questions are going to be mainly on brochas. We're going to test your knowledge on brochas. And let's see, I am sure that you're going to know the answers, so let's not wait any longer. This is Day 10, Chaverimboyz Camping In. We move on now to the live part of the show where we ask the questions. First of all, before we begin, if you are new to the show, if you haven't participated yet, learn how to raise your hand. It's not by waving your hand to the screen. I can't see everybody at once. I only see the first few on my screen. The way to do that is by having the button. There is a button called raise a hand, and then there is, if you were calling in, it's by *9. Like I said, today the theme is going to be on brochas. If you were never picked before, you can put the letters NP in capital, NP, like never picked, in capital in your name, and I'm going to try, no promises, to pick on you. to pick on you, like in that way. Hey, Rebbe's picking on me. Yes, I'm going to pick on you. Okay. So, by the way, before we go on to the questions of today, congratulations to yesterday's winner, Abish Morgenstern of Lakewood, New Jersey. He won yesterday's crafts package. It's I got his address already. We're going to ship it, and hopefully maybe he'll take a video for us as he gets it so that we can show the other boys what it is. The boys with the gift certificates, hold on tight. We hope to get it done to you before Pesach. It's just the logistics. I haven't, everybody's staying home, so it's a little bit challenging. Okay, let us begin with a first question right over here, and this is a question for all ages. We'll start with a simple question. What is the bracha on avocado? Avocado, easy question. Start with easy. Avocado, what is the bracha on avocado? If you know the answer. Okay, we have with us, why is it not going? There we go. We have Love Camping In. You're on Love Camping In, whoever you are. If you can start your video. There we go. Your video has been started. Now we just have to spotlight you. Okay. Hey, how are we doing, Love Camping In? Okay. So who was never picked? Because I spoke to one of you yesterday. Who did I speak to? Oh, wait. We don't hear you. Oh, for some reason, we don't hear you again. Now we hear you. Speak up. Speak up. We hear you loud and clear.
Hello.
Hu'aitz is correct. Hu'aitz is correct. A lot of people say ha'adama because they think of it as a vegetable, right? Because you don't it's not like apples, bananas, avocados. But avocados are eights. They grow on gehediga trees. Am I saying gehedig correct? Does it sound right? They grow on gehediga. It grows on gehediga trees. It's ha'aitz. It's not a vegetable. It's a fruit. So you're Chesky, right?
No, I'm Dovey.
Dovey. So Chesky is hiding. And who's the one in the middle?
Yankee.
Yankee. Did I ever meet Yankee? Yankee was not in Camp Chaverimboyz, was he?
He's coming this year.
Awesome. Yankee, come say hello. Hello, Yankee.
On fire. It's not
You have phenomenal brothers. Geschmack get to be there. And you're lucky to have them, okay? So Chesky and Dovey, all on board. Phenomenal kids. Good to have you there. How are you managing with being home for a long time, no?
The video is
You know what I'm saying? We can go back already, no? No. You're enjoying the vacation? I should really ask this question to your mother, not to you. I'll ask Mommy Weinberger and say, is it time to have Chayde again, yes or no? And I think the answer is going to be yes, because even though you're probably the best kids in the world, but it's probably still a little bit hard. Everybody's home all day. But anyways, good to see you. We're going to put your name down, Dovey Weinberger, for the raffle for today. That is correct. So remember, even though it looks like it's a vegetable, because we use it with vegetables, but it's still a bracha of ha'etz. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on. That was an easy question. Not too easy, but it was easy. Now I want to make a harder question. Let's do a harder question. And the question is, what is the bracha that we make on the rainbow? On a rainbow, you make a bracha. And don't just tell me you make a rainbow bracha, because I need to hear what are the words for the bracha on the rainbow. The rainbow bracha, what is that you make on it? What is the bracha? We have with us the Fastag boys. If you could start your video, Fastag boys, so we could see you. You're on. Wait. Let's make sure everybody could see you. Okay, how are you doing?
It's not us.
Well, what happened over here? You're the Fastag boy? Somehow it spotlighted them. Wait a second. We're trying to figure this out. Look at that. There we go. I got the freeds up here. Okay, Fastag boys, you're on. Fastag boys. Okay, first of all, how are you doing, Tzaddik?
Good.
Good, Baruch Hashem. Where's your brother? He's hiding?
Over there.
He's hiding over there. Okay. So what is the bracha that we make on the rainbow? Bayrein mine rainbow. I mean like a rainbow, like in the sky. I don't mean like rainbow cake, because rainbow cake is mezainis. Okay, tell us the bracha.
Zachabris.
Zachabris. Vinema bebrisai.
Brisai. Bekaimen.
Bekayam bemamorei. Wow, that's correct. You got it right. Now let me ask you. You're Yitzi, right?
Dove.
Dove. Why do I mix you up always with Yitzi? Okay. Did you ever make a bracha on the rainbow?
No.
You never made a bracha on the rainbow. You're tzaddik.
No, I always forget.
So yeah, so the bracha, I made a bracha on the rainbow. You said to see rainbows once in a while. Actually, last summer in Camp Chaverim, one day after all the boys left, there was a gorgeous rainbow, and we made the bracha because it's a big field. It was just unbelievable. We made the bracha on the rainbow there. Yeah, but once in a while, even between the tall buildings in Bar Park, you get to see a rainbow and to make a bracha. Anyways, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure having you on. And send regards to the whole Fastag family. Okay? Okay, excellent. Everybody knows answers. Amazing. Okay, let's see if we muted them. Not letting me mute them. Why not? I don't know. Oh, no, it worked. Okay, just took a second. Okay, let us move on to another question. I thought I had like hard questions. Okay. Is this not gonna be like a little bit of a trick question? Okay, it's not really. In other words, take a second before you answer. What bracha do you make on water? Now, this is a trick question. Because if you're just gonna tell me, oh, you make a bracha, no, think about it before. What's the answer? What is the bracha that you make on water? And we have with us Lipa Gutman. Lipa, sit up, Lipa. How you doing, Lipa?
Good.
Good, Baruch Hashem. What's going on, Lipa? How is that wooden house that you built?
Baruch Hashem.
The house is okay, or was destroyed already between yesterday and today? You know what I'm talking about? The wooden house.
Make a bracha, but if you're thirsty, then you make shahaka.
Okay, so I don't know why we couldn't hear you. Come closer to the camera or something. So what did you say? Speak up. I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you the first time. Well, I'm sorry, what happened? He got muted all of a sudden. Wait a second, Leap. I don't know why. Zoom is playing shtick with us today. It's just like muted you out of the blue. Maybe it's something against you. Did you mess around with Zoom? Okay, here we go. Unmute. Let's try this again. I don't know why it's giving. Okay, there we go. Now we should hear you. Go ahead.
If you're not thirsty, you make shahaka, and if you are thirsty, then you make a bracha.
The other way around. You got it right, but the other way around. If you are thirsty, you're chalishing, you just finished playing basketball, you're so hot, you make a bracha, because then water is the most delicious thing in the world, right? But if you're not thirsty, you're drinking, why are you drinking if you're not thirsty?
Because you want to drink.
Well, but that means you're thirsty. Why are you drinking if you're not thirsty?
You want to swallow something? Or...
That's right. If you want to swallow medicine, that's the most common. I mean, it could be also you're having a silly water race with the little brother sitting behind you. You're like, okay, I can drink 5 cups. He said I can drink 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's it. But if you're drinking it like you're taking medicine, you don't need the water. You're not thirsty. You just need to swallow it down. Then you do not make a bracha. So we have with us the Gutman family. And Lipa is right. Water is not always straight shahakal. Lipa is right. Sometimes it's shahakal, sometimes it's not. If you're thirsty, then it's a shahakal. If not, then you do not make a bracha. By the way, what would be the halacha if I'm taking, I want to take a pill, but I'm drinking orange juice? Would I make a bracha?
Yeah.
That's right, because then the orange juice has a good flavor. The Shulchan Aruch says orange juice is delicious. That's the difference between water and juice. Water is only delicious when you're thirsty. Otherwise, there's just water. So then you don't make a bracha if you're taking medicine. But if you're drinking juice with medicine, you're taking a pill with juice. Juice always tastes good, right? And if you're having a milkshake, it's good even if you're just having medicine. So good answer. Thank you very much, Lipa. And let's write down Lipa's name over here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And keep up over there the good work over there. How are you managing being at home?
Good.
How's your father managing?
Good.
Everybody's managing fine?
Yeah, good.
Okay, doc. I don't see your footprints on the wall. It means you're not climbing the walls. You're good. Unless you just clean your footprints right.
No walls.
What?
There's no walls.
There's no walls. No walls. The walls are down already. Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much for coming on the show. And let us move on with another question. Fantastic answers. Let's move on. 1 second. We missed that over here. What did we have? No, we did already. I'm just trying to make sure I wrote the names down. I missed out over here. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to look back in the show, make sure who I missed out, make sure I wrote the names down. Okay, let us move on with another question. This is a real tough question. Okay, it's a real tough question. So you can ask an adult if you have, like on wine, everybody knows you make hagofen. How can I make another bracha on wine? And I don't mean kiddush, and I don't mean sheva brachas. I'm talking about I'm holding a glass of wine. This is not wine, this is coffee. But if I'm holding a glass of wine, I already made hagofen. Now I'm going to drink the wine, and there's another bracha that I have to make. What's another bracha you have to make on wine? Not always, sometimes. It's a very complicated, but it's a true halacha. What is the bracha you sometimes have to make on wine? If you have the answers. Okay, let's see. We got everybody seems to notice. I didn't notice when I was your age. How do you know this? How does everybody know all the answers? Makes me feel I went, I don't know, I missed out. Let us see. We got over here with us, we got Cops. Cops, you are on.
If it's old wine, if it's old wine, then you make a shtiging.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even think of that. That is a correct answer. That it is. Wow, that is something I didn't even think about that. What's your name again? What's your first name?
Yitzi.
Yitzi Cops?
Yeah.
Okay, so what Yitzi is saying is correct. That's not even what I meant. You see, but that's why I learned so much from the Kinderlach on this show. If it's old wine, then you make shechionu. If it's just like a specialty, very, very special wine. Okay, that is amazing. I wasn't even thinking about that. Do you want to take a shot at the other one? I put your name down in the raffle, by the way. That's amazing. I didn't even think about that. But do you want to take a shot at the other kind of bracha that you can make on a wine? If, sometimes. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm just, you seem to be like a great Tam Chacham, or at least living in a house full of Tamid Chacham. I'm not sure what you're looking at over there. If it's a sefer, or you're looking at a parent. But it's amazing. That was right. Yitzi, that's correct. Shachiono. But there's another possibility, which I'm going to still give somebody else a chance over here to be able to answer. Where are you from? Which cheder? That's in Lakewood?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all the way from Lakewood. That's like very far from here. Not really, but considering the fact that we don't leave the house too much, so that is very far. Okay, we lost him. We got him back. Okay, good. Okay, who's the other tzaddik with you there? He's shy.
He comes from Berber.
His name is Bald.
Yeah.
See, that's why I thought I wasn't sure. I only saw half a face, so I saw half a bald. I wasn't sure. To see the other half of his face wasn't something else. Is he related to you?
Yeah.
Okay. His father is a Rav in Pinsk, right? In Belarus? Is that right?
No.
Is that
Ukraine.
In where?
Ukraine.
No, I don't think it's in Ukraine. I think it's in Pinsk.
Lvov.
Lvov. No, Lvov. Thank you, Lvov. Lvov is Ukraine? Let me talk to him a second. Let me talk to this tzaddik a second, if he doesn't mind. What's your first name, tzaddik?
Elimelech.
Elimelech. This is Elimelech Bald. His father is a Rav in Lvov. It used to be called Lemberg, right? It used to be called Lemberg?
Yeah.
Today it's called Lvov. Where is that? Is it in Ukraine, Lvov?
Yeah.
Okay, you see, I didn't know that, but Yitzi knew that. You see, I told you, all the kids on the show are so much smarter than me. That I'm asking the questions, because if they would ask a question, they would never know the answer. Yeah, so thank you. That is correct, and it's great having you on the show. Wow, that would be amazing. Maybe we should try to reach his father and find out how it's going in Lemberg. Is your father in Lemberg now, in Lvov?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. His father takes care of Eden in Lvov, of the shul there and the rest of the kehillah there. It's really an honor to have him have you on the show. And if you speak to him today, tomorrow, just tell him that Rabbi Cohn sends regards. He knows who I am. I taught your brothers. I was your brother's Rebbe, the one that's now married. Yeah, I was his Rebbe. Okay, thank you very much for coming on the show. Let us move on with the questions. We still have the same question, which we didn't answer. So if somebody else wants to give us the answer, which other bracha can you make? You can make another bracha. Let us see who it is. Okay, we have with us Shaya. Shaya, you're on. How are you, Shaya? Yeah, how are you doing, Tzaddik?
Good.
Good, Baruch Hashem. What's your last name? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Is it the... Why all of a sudden? 1 second. Why can't we hear him all of a sudden? Speak up again. Let me see what's going on. I can't. Oops, we all of a sudden can't hear him. A second ago we heard him. Elbogen. Oh, okay, very good. Now we hear you. I don't know what happened. Okay, Shaya Elbogen. Okay, Shaya. So tell us, what is this the bracha? That another bracha.
Shahakal.
How would you make shahakal on wine?
Vinegar.
If it became vinegar. Wow, that's not even the answer that I meant. And look how smart the boys are. So I asked the question. I thought I had the answer. And so far we heard from Yitzi Cops one answer that I didn't even think of, and that is shechianu on wine that has been put away. It's old wine. And now we're hearing from Shai Ellenbogen another twist in this question, and that is that if it became vinegar, and to explain to the Kinderlach what that means, Shai, I'm going to explain, is that wine, if you let it sit too long, it turns sour and turns into vinegar. The vinegar that you have in your fridge that is clear, looks like water, it's called synthetic vinegar. It's fake vinegar. They make it in a factory. But real vinegar is made out of wine. Now, if you go to the grocery section of the store, you can find that Kedem sells wine vinegar. And that it tastes a little bit different. You can get red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, and the vinegar, the bracha is shahakal. So here you can have a bottle of wine that went sour, and you make on it shahakal. Shai Elbogen, I'm so glad you came on the show to give us this answer, because I didn't even think of this answer. So I still have another way to make another bracha on wine, but I learned so much. So that's amazing. Where do you live again, Sadik? Remind me.
Borough Park.
You live in Borough Park. Okay. So, Be'ez Hashem, hopefully, I really wish you, mazel to win this, because I think it was a fantastic answer that really never even crossed my mind. Okay? You want to go back to Chayda already? You're not so sure. Maybe if they do recess all day and then just 1 hour of learning on a phone, maybe you go back to Chayda, right? That would be a new way of Chayda. We'll go back to Chayda and say, Rebbe, we discovered is that you don't have to even come to Chayda. The Rebbe could stay home. They put a big phone on the desk, and they put on the phone for an hour. Everybody listens. Then they go out for recess all day. I mean, that would be a great idea. Okay, thank you very much, Shaya, for coming on. Your brother is Yisrael Ellenbogen? Yisrael? You have an older brother?
No.
Okay, so I'm mixing you up with the other Ellenbogen. I forgot already whose brothers, whose cousins. Okay. Thank you very much, Sadik. And let us move on. Wow, look at these smart kids. Where was I when I was a kid? I wasn't half as smart. I didn't know half the information they know. Okay, so we still have a way to make another bracha. That's amazing. Let us try. By the way, boys, if you were already picked, like today, if you could try to take off the words NP off your name so that I don't mix you up, because I'm still trying to pick on never picked boys. I can't promise. I'm trying. Okay. Let us try this other possibility. Let us try another way to make a bracha. And we have Eisenberger boys. You're on. How are you doing? Eli and Akiva.
Good.
What's happening? How is it going over there in Lakewood, New Jersey?
Good.
Baruch Hashem. So do you have an answer? Did you hear terrific answers that we had from Yitzi Kaps and Shaila Bogan? And that wasn't even the answer I was planning on. So do you have another answer?
Yeah.
What is it?
6 brachos after making a guffin by the chuppah.
Okay. Like I said in the introduction to the question, I did not mean the Shever brachas or benching. Reason being, because that's not a bracha on the wine. You need wine to make the brachas. That's a good point. You need the wine to make a bracha. You need wine for Shever brachas. But it's not like you're saying, shahakol hadama yoitzer hada, right? It's not on the food. I'm asking mamish a bracha that you have to make. I mean, not on the food, but before you drink it. But that was a good possibility. Do you have any other ideas? What it might be? I'm looking at your brother. I think he knows the answer. He just doesn't want to say. That makes sense. Akiva, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
Akiva, which class are you in? Which kita? Which grade?
Aleph.
You're in kita Aleph already? Unbelievable. Did you already have a Chumash Suda?
Yeah.
When did you have the Chumash Suda? Last year?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're really already a very big boy. Okay. We didn't see you yet in Camp Chaverim, though. You planning on coming to Camp Chaverim?
Yeah, this year.
This year, we're going to save you a seat there. I have all colored chairs. What's your favorite color?
I know.
You don't know because we got green chairs and yellow chairs and blue chairs. You let me know which color. I try to get you the favorite color you like, okay? Okay, take care. Wow, fantastic. You know, that's a good answer about Shavuot brachas, but that's not really on the thing. So, because if we're going to go down the route of Shavuot brachas, we can already say, like benching and other stuff. Okay, let's give it another shot. And if nobody knows the answer, then I'm going to spill the answer. And yay, it's going to be the first time that I have an answer that I stomped everybody. Okay, let's try this one here. We have with us Yechiel. Yechiel, you're on. How are you doing, Yechiel?
Very good.
Baruch Hashem, what's going on over there? You look way too comfortable. You're never going to want to go back to Chayda like that. You don't have such a chair in Chayda. Look at me. I'm sitting at a kitchen chair in this little makeshift office so that I shouldn't get too comfortable here at home. So I should want to go back to work. So, but anyways, good to see you. And new glasses since the summer, right?
Yeah, actually, no. I have new glasses, but I'm not wearing it now.
Well, you did not wear these in the summer, did you?
I actually did.
You actually did. So that means either my memory is going or just under the sun, it looks different. Because you look different. It fits you very well. It brings out the smartness to you. So you're a smart boy. It brings out the smartness. So tell us, what bracha can we make on wine?
If it's a really good and old wine, you can make a toiva meitiv.
Fantastic. The answer is correct, a toiva meitiv, but I'm going to throw in one little correction. Finally, you should know, I'm so glad because I thought maybe today is going to have a question and nobody's going to know the answer. And then I was going to feel so smart. But Baruch Hashem, you're keeping me from feeling too smart. So yes, Yechiel is right. And Yechiel, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just making sure because I had your brother also. I mixed up the names. So Yechiel is right. There's a bracha teva meitim, and listen to this. There's a halacha that you could do, especially with Pesach coming up, and that is that if you have wine on the table, and then you bring a better wine. This is the only way you can do this. If you bring a better wine, so first you have one wine, and you bring a better wine, and two people are drinking it. Not you drinking it yourself, because it has to be a teva meitiv. It's good for me and it's good for others. That's as far as I remember. The halacha, it has to be at least two people. And it has to be that the second wine is better. So if you first brought out the better wine, and then you brought the schwacher wine, no good. Or if you both had them on the table when you made a guffin, also no good, because you made a guffin on whatever was on the table. But if you were sitting and having a suda, and Yechiel was saying a dvar Torah, and the dvar Torah led to another question and another answer, and it was gavaldik, and then they said, there's no more wine, let's bring more wine. They brought another bottle, which was better than the one before. It was $100 bottle of wine. Then you make a bracha toiv v'ameitiv. Fantastic. Yechiel, thank you for coming on the show. And I'm glad that we got this answer correct because, phew, I was already getting nervous. So, wow, fantastic. You're welcome. Where's your older brother?
Right over here.
What is he so shy for? What happened to you? Ever since you became a bocha, I'm saying, take 5 minutes. It's not biblical. 5 minutes. Come say hello. Come on the show. Say hello. I don't want mamish be involved in Torah too much, but you know. Where do you learn Naviminsk? Bialapol. So during the summer, I saw you. I didn't see you. You were in Bismillah all the time. I never saw this guy. But even though we at Camp Chaverimboyz on the same grounds as Bialapol, but the Zaydenfelds, I was by Gemara. You want to find him? Go to Bismillah. You're not going to find him anywhere else. Excellent. Wow. Okay. So good to see the campers and the former campers. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay. Wow. We still have a couple minutes before the second half of the show. I did make, by the way, the taped part of the second half of the show shorter so that we can get a lot of boys in because I want to give a lot of boys a chance. And I'm glad. Okay. Let us lower all hands and let's move on with a question. I want to give an easy question for Kita Aleph, Beis, and Gimel. It's not easy. I mean to say it's a question geared for Kita Aleph, Beis, and Gimel. And the question for Kita Aleph, Beis, and Gimel is what are the Shivas Aminim? If you can tell me at least 4 of them, at least 4 of Shivas Aminim. If you know all of them, it's fantastic. But if you can tell me at least 4 or 5 of the Shivas Aminim, if you are in Kita Aleph, Beis, or Gimel, we have with us Aaron. Wait a second. Aaron is on. Aaron, you're on.
Say hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
You're Aaron Melnick?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're Yankee's brother?
Yeah.
You're very lucky. I like Yankee very much. He's my friend. You know he's my friend?
No.
You didn't know? Well, I'm telling you now. Yankee's my friend. There we go. That's him. That's Yankee. If you weren't sure who Yankee is, that's the guy. He's the one right next to you. He's a very, very, very good kid. I like him very much. And I also like your older brother, but he's already in yeshiva, learning all day. Okay, so tell us, do you know the Shivas Aminim?
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Limoi.
Okay.
Chita.
Good.
Se'oida. Geisem.
Wow, we already have 4?
Dayas. Vash.
Right, the Vash is Tamurim.
Is it Gefen?
Yeah, I think we missed that Ta'eno. You did a great job, Aaron. Which class are you in? Which Kita?
Kita Aleph.
And Kita Aleph. Wow. Which one is your favorite from the Shivas Aminim? Do you like eating? Is it the Rimoin? You lie. That's why I figured it's the Rimoin because you said it first. So what do you do when you have a Rimoin? Do you throw out the seeds and you eat the rest or you eat the seeds?
I eat the purple.
The purple? You have a purple Rimoin. My Rimoin is red. Where do you have a purple Rimoin? But that maybe you mean red. That's fine. So
seeds.
Delicious. You like a sweet Rimoin. Okay, it makes sense. Do you know that Rosh Hashanah we have a Rimoin?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. And what do we dip in the honey? The Rimoin, we dip the Rimoin in the honey?
No.
No, you see, smart. Kita Aleph, they know everything. We dip the Rimoin into what? Into the Tahina. That wouldn't make sense, right? No, we dip the apple and the honey and the Rimoin. We make a Yirotzain that we should have a lot of schusim like a Rimoin. Okay? Thank you. You came on the show and you gave us such a big smile. I'm so happy. And I get to see Yankee again. That's fantastic. Okay, thank you very much. And we wrote your name down. Hopefully you win. That is correct. Okay, we still have time for another question.
So cute.
We gotta figure out how to. There we go. Mute. Okay. So fantastic. So different ages. I enjoy when the young kids come on as well. Let us go on with another question. So I'm going to lower all hands, and we're going to go with another question, and then we'll take a break for the second taped part, and then we'll come back with a lot of questions. We're going to have a debate. We're going to do the intro game. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I didn't even get to not even a fifth of the questions here. Wow. Okay, then let's make it an easy question over here. What's the bracha on papaya? What's the bracha on papaya? Any age can raise their hand. Papaya. Now, if you don't know what papaya is, please don't raise your hand, because if you don't know what papaya is this fruit that when you eat fresh, it smells like throw up. I'm not making this up. If you ever taste fresh papaya, it smells like throw up. It's a funny fruit. That's why most of the time you get it dry. But if you go to a store and you buy fresh papaya, don't get thrown off by the smell, because I know of a funny story. I had a friend of mine who, I don't know what got into his head. He wanted to buy fresh papaya. He wanted to try it out. I think it was maybe Chamishas B'Shvat. So he went to the store and he bought papaya, and he opened it up and he was like, spoiled papaya. He threw it out. He went back to the store. He got another one, and it was also spoiled. By the time they came back for the third time, he said to the store owner, all your papaya is spoiled. And then the store owner explained to him, no, this is how papaya smells like. So what bracha do you make on papaya? And we have with us Pesachia. How are you, Pesachia?
Right.
Okay, if you turn that fancy background, because what it's making it do, it's making your payers look like they're full of ice. Like, no, it's okay. You can just turn off that fancy background, okay? We'll put it back on as soon as we're done. But if you know how to turn it off, it's not a problem. If you don't know how to, it's not a problem.
Who answered? 1 minute. Got it.
Now you're an Arab face. That's okay, Pesachia. Don't worry about it. If it's too much of a hassle, don't worry about it. Okay. So, Pesachia, what is...
I got it.
Go, Pesachia. Because no, it's fine. Your payers are fine.
Hey.
So I'm not going to give comments on people's payers. You can win, okay? I was just saying it looked like there was ice around it. So, Pesachia, tell us, what bracha do you make on papaya?
Hey.
That's not the right answer.
Hadama?
It's Hadoma. Now, I'm going to give you the answer correct anyways. Because, let's be honest, once I said to you that wasn't an 8, and the answer is Hadoma, right? That is very surprising to a lot of people, because they think about it as a fruit. I even called it a fruit. In the second half of the show, I'm going to talk about bananas. What bracha do you make on bananas?
Hadama?
Right. Do you know that banana grows on a tree that is like almost as tall as a house? So
No.
That's what it is. I'm going to show you in the second half of the show. Bananas, they grow in a much bigger. They don't grow. First of all, they don't grow in a plastic bag that says on the dough. It grows very big, and it grows on a very big tree. It's still the bracha hadoma, because it's not really a tree. It's a plant, and the same as papaya. Now, to be honest with you, part of the reason that I'm giving you, I'm putting you in the raffle is because there's been a machlokes on this, and you might still hear from a Rav that papayas are 8. I'm not here to paskin. I think that the Welt Vierzach to make hadoma on papaya, you could check with your own Rav. So if tonight you want to get onto the phone with your Rav, he's probably busy with a lot of Erev Pesach question. You can say to him, Rav, we had this whole question, papaya, what's the bracha? And you're probably going to hear hadoma. But they were posting who held it was 8. So there was some shaila. I definitely know it's a shaila. It's spoken about. But I think the bracha ultimately is hadoma, because it's not really. So pay attention to the second half of the show about bananas, and then it's the same thing about papayas. Papayas grow also on these massive plants. Anyways, thank you for coming on, Pesachia. And by the way, did you manage to eat up all the chametz like you started? I saw you just started over there, but I didn't see the end of the video. Did you manage?
No.
Yeah?
Too much.
It was too much, right? So did you get help from your siblings?
Halfway.
Halfway. What do you do with the other half of the chametz? What are you going to do with it?
I don't know.
It's not your problem, you're saying, right? That was your price. It belongs to your parents. They have to, maybe your parents are sitting every night till the morning eating chametz. That's maybe why they're tired the next day. Not because they have to deal with the kids home all day. That's easy. The hard part is sitting a whole night and eating all that chametz on their own. Okay? So, yeah, it's such a shame, because if this wasn't this quarantine, we can bring a party to the Steinberg household and we can just go help them finish the chametz. So let me know at some point when it's all done, when you're down to the last cookie. And that becomes the last one. And then you make a bracha, I'll be a chametz on that. Finish. Okay, thank you for coming on, Pesachia. It's been a pleasure. And we put your name in the raffle. We're going to come back with the more after the second half of the show. So stay tuned. We're just going to take a break for the
The taped part of the second part, I mean, I keep on calling it the taped part. I did it this morning. It's not like it's old news. It's the part where I organized the material before. And right after that, we're going to come back with more questions and debates and other exciting stuff. Again, this is Chaverimboyz. We are on day 10 of the show. It's a pleasure and an honor to have everybody on.
Welcome back to the second half of the show. So yes, a lot of interesting questions about brochas, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about was bananas, because bananas, as I'm going to show you soon, grow on what looks like a tree, a very tall tree. It's like very high, and yet it's very priyadama. So we're going to talk about why that is in a moment, but before that, just a little inspiring clip from Eretz Yisrael about two Yiddelach, and one of them goes to the rooftop. He sees his neighbor on the rooftop, and he asks him, did you put on tefillin? And his neighbor says, well, not yet. And he goes, he puts on tefillin. They make a l'chaim from the rooftops, reminding us Yidden are connected all the time, connected to the Eibishter, to one another, and it doesn't matter if we're cooped in or we're camping in or whatever. We are one.
No, you can do it still. Nice, dude. What's your name? Daniel. Nice to meet you, Ben. Amen. Yeah! Woo! L'chaim.
Wow, how inspiring. Kinalach, never forget, we're connected to the Eibishter, we're connected to his Torah, and we're connected to all other Yidden. Right now I wanted to talk, like I said, about bananas. So take a look. You're going to notice is that, I don't know if you've ever seen in person a banana tree or plant, but if you just pass by, you might think it's a tree. They're tall, they got big leaves, and the question would be, in that case, why are they ha'adomo? And the answer, in short, is because it's not a tree. Not only, by the way, not only halachically it's not a tree, even botanists, people who who study plants, call it an herb, or a plant. And the secret is that a banana tree, the big banana tree that you see, will only bear fruits once. Now you might say, wait a second, so every year they replant them, what's going on? So let me explain a little bit. A banana tree will grow. It will take up to a year to bring fruits the first time, and it will stick around for a couple of years, but it won't give fruit anymore. It only does it one time, where it blossoms, flowers grow, and fruits, which we call the bananas, come out. After that, the only way to get new bananas is from the offshoots, because one of the things that they made, banana trees, the mother tree, gives off pups, which means underground little shoots come up of new banana trees, and they bear fruit. And in a banana plantation, this is the job, by the way, to keep the maintenance. There's a lot of maintenance you need to do. It's not like a regular tree. You just put it up there and boom, there's fruit every year. No, the fruit of this year are gone. That's it. You take them off, and then there is the banana tree that's got to be cut away, and the shoots, the offshoots, they're growing, and they are bringing fruit, and this cycle continues. But in essence, this plant gives fruit only once, and then that's it. And then maximum it will stick around for a couple of years, just nice leaves and stuff like that. So therefore it's not a tree. Halachically it's not a tree. It's not one bark that keeps on giving fruit. So to make boire pri ha'etz, it has to be that there's a pri coming from an eitz. There's an eitz, a tree, and from that comes a pri. Bananas are not. You're eating the tree itself, the herb itself. It's a pri adama. From the adama comes out a big long plant, and part of it you can eat. The part that you can eat is called the banana. The leaves are probably not tasty. And then that whole kaboom goes away. It doesn't bring more fruit. So remember, pri ha'etz is when you have a tree, a eitz, and then it comes out of that a pri, a fruit. But when you have that, you're eating the actual thing, just like you're eating a head of lettuce. That's adama, and that's what happens with the banana plant. So I hope now you understand why, even though it is magnificently big, tall tree, it's really a plant in the brachas hadama.
The banana, you know and love it, well, probably most of you, but have you ever wondered how they're produced? On this episode, we'll take you through how bananas are grown and harvested. Grown in Guatemala, Honduras, Costa Rica, Colombia, and Ecuador, the banana requires specific conditions to thrive. This 2,000 acres Benito farm in Costa Rica has perfect conditions to grow bananas year-round. Bananas, like at this Dole facility, are started from tissue from healthy plants. When they're 7 weeks old, the seedlings are then planted in a field that has been readied beforehand. Excellent drainage, full sun, and a constant water supply is needed to make them excel. Costa Rica's rainforest climate has high levels of humidity, causing these bananas to grow quickly, which requires them to be maintained regularly. These here are full-grown banana plants. While looking like a type of tree, they're actually a giant herb, which just happens to produce bananas. The inside of the banana plant stalk has concentric rings, like that of an onion or a tree. The leaves are created from the innermost part called the growing point. Here we see this immature fruit stem is starting to develop these little bananas with small flowers. This is all started from creating a new field of bananas, but isn't required to do so all that often as they'll continually regenerate. 3 shoots will be created by each plant. The first, mother plant, will produce fruit just one time. A daughter plant will grow and become the next main plant and will only fruit one time as well. The third is a follower, which will gain nutrition from the mother plant and eventually produce bananas on its own. New fields of bananas will be created after many years when the soil needs to be replenished with nutrients. It takes 12 to 13 weeks for a banana to grow. This measuring tool is used to verify the correct thickness of a banana before harvesting. 6 days a week, 3 workers will harvest bananas in one part of the farm at a time. Harvested green bananas are one of the only fruits that can properly ripen off the plant or tree. Foam pads are added to protect the bananas, then one worker will cut off the bunch while the other one catches it on their shoulder with a giant pad in place. The leaves of the mother plant are then chopped up so they can break down and provide nutrition to the daughter plant that will produce bananas next. Weighing 65 pounds or 29 kilograms, the bunch of bananas is carried to a cableway system which can hold up to 75 bunches. These 75 bunches are pulled back to the facility by a mule. These cableway systems are so diverse among the farms that the one shown here has over 80 miles or 128 kilometers of them throughout the farm. Once the bananas make their way back to the facility, the protective pads are removed and they're sprayed down with chlorinated water. Cut off into what are called banana hands, these small bunches are tossed into a big bin of water to remove excess latex from the plant and to protect them. Now floating down a river of bananas, they end up at a second quality control station where they're cut into bunches of 5 to 7 fingers. Continuing their floating journey, they're then weighed to fill shipping cartons at specific weights. The conveyor belt takes them to their next stop where they get their branding sticker. The ends are glazed with some sort of preserving agent and packed into boxes. 40 pounds or 18 kilograms of bananas per box are stacked in with the stem part facing down in a perforated material that allows them to ripen in the shipping process. From harvesting to ready to ship in the box is only a 2 to 3 hour process. Multiple boxes are stacked and strapped together, which is ready for the road, which they'll head over to the nearest port to be loaded into a shipping container.
Well, I hope that shed some clarity on bananas, the way they grow and the reason they are adama. Now you know the answer. They are not a fruit of a tree. They are the actual thing, the actual plant, and that's why we make on them bere priya adama. Now I think it'll be appropriate we cut to a song by Shmili Ungar, Machabrocha, and take a listen.
חולי עולם שהחיינו וקימנו אשר קידשנו וציוונו ברוך אתה השם מה חברוכם אבל חשיבו לעולם ועד 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 בכל ימי יום מברכו ואהלה שמחו לעולם בכל ימי יום מברכו ואהלה שמחו לעולם שהחיינו אשר קידשנו וציוונו ברוך אתה השם
Let us now cut to the live part of the show. I wanted to give a lot more kids a chance to answer, and we want to still have a debate and play our intro songs game. So I cut this part of the show a little shorter, so we have more time for the live part. This is Chaverimboyz, Day 10, Camping In.
Welcome back. Yes, usually we go a few more minutes, and there was some other things that were going to be on the program, but then I decided to cut it so that we can do a little bit more of the questions. But before we bring on other questions, I just wanted to bring on, I think we have with us Yitzi Schechter from camp, one of our counselors from camp, Yitzi Schechter. Yitzi Schechter, you're on. Yitzi, how are you?
Hi, Rebbe. Hi, Rebbe.
What's going on, Yitzi? This is our counselor, Yitzi Schechter.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Or you're smart like the other kids and you figured out how to put that background on?
Yep.
You're smart like the other kids. Yeah. How do I know you're not sure? Because I see nobody else is moving other than you. Anyways, and it's also night over there. It's not like a dark sky, and it's not so many people, unfortunately, the coastal because of
right now it's empty. Happens to be in real life.
In real time, yes. Okay, so Yitzi, first of all, how have you been managing with this, quarantining indoors?
You have to be stuck at home. Nothing that we can do.
Right.
That's it.
If you're noticing, I don't know. I know you've been following the show. I tried getting you on a different day. I just couldn't, for some reason, couldn't unmute you. And you notice the boys, our campers, are doing a magnificent job. Not only our campers, they inspired a lot of others. A lot of others.
I'm on almost every day.
Right.
Almost every day.
Notice how smart they are, and now they're coming up with creative ways to keep themselves busy. I've never been more proud of my campers. I always loved the campers, and I think we have the best bunch of kids in the world. And but here we're discovering is that not only them, their siblings, some of their younger brothers, older brothers, sisters are smart and knowledgeable, and it's really amazing. So you know what, this was as much as we didn't plan for it. This ended up bringing out some very beautiful elements about our campers. So,
yep, it's good, once a year, but not on this circumstances. But
well, you know what? When I started with day one, I wasn't sure how long it was going to go, and now we are on day 10 and day 10 of the show. Meaning to say, it's already. If you would have had a show Friday, Sunday would have been more. Yeah, it's tough, but yet I'm getting from when we call on the boys, they're smiling, and it's just amazing. I'm just gonna, before we move on to other parts of the show, I'm just glad I got you on. Is there anybody here who was a camper of Yitzi Schechter? If you want to say hi, if you're a camper of Yitzi Schechter, raise a hand. If any of Yitzi Schechter's campers are on, and you want to raise a hand and say hi, you raise your hand and say hi. Wait a second. We got with us. Hold on. There we go. I'm not even sure who this is. Hey, hi. How are you, Tzadik?
Brian.
How are you? Yitzi Schechter was your counselor?
Yeah.
Yitzi, yeah, you recognize your campers? Look how they grew, Blian Hara.
I recognize the face, but the names.
Oh, Yitzi, we're not going to get into this. I always tell the campers, the counselors, is that you got to know your 20 campers' names, if I can remember all hundreds of them. But
yeah.
Maybe you want to take a shot at it, Yitzi?
No, it's not a fry. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, you get involved. Okay, tell him your name.
Rebbe, I don't know how you do it every year, remember.
Well, it takes a week or two. Okay, we have the younger one also. What's your name, Tzadik?
Huda.
Yehuda. What's the young?
Yours. Mine. What does it say? My name is Kai.
Chaim. And Yehuda is the younger one, Yehuda? Okay, why is he so short?
He said yours. I know who your name.
Okay. So what is the best memory you have of Yitzi Schechter in camp?
I don't know. Everything. Everything?
Well, yeah, you're very kind. Yitzi Schechter is a great counselor. He puts in a lot of work. All our counselors put in a lot of work. I'm thinking of running a behind the show.
Rebbe, we should.
Yes, we definitely should, just because I don't think the campers know just how much work it's put in.
Everything go further, you see you over here.
Hey, no. He's got a smile. I got a smile on there, and I can see now his teeth also. He's doing okay. All his teeth are healthy, Baruch Hashem. Okay, thank you very much for coming on. We have another boy who wants to say hi. We have with us Kupawasa. Kupawasa, you're on. Where's Kupawasa? Hey, how are you, Tzaddik? Where's Nussi?
He was in Siegel's bunk.
Oh, yeah? How are you, Nussi? Are you Yitzi Schechter's camper at some point?
No.
No? But you want to say hi to Yitzi Schechter anyway?
Hello.
You're I hear you clearly.
The internet connection, I guess, is a little lagging.
Okay. Good to see you, boys. Awesome to see the Kupawasers. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nussi, for being our show.
So quiet when you.
Okay, let us move on over here with some more questions. Who do we still have that's making noise? I think we're all good. Okay, thank you very much. That was Yitzi Schechter. Okay, let us move on. I promised to put a lot more kids today with questions. So let us go a few more questions, and then we'll start the debates. So let's begin with questions. 1 second. Go. Okay, so let's begin with questions. Continuing on questions about brachas. So what's the bracha you make on mushrooms and why? The main reason I want to know is why. What's the bracha you make on mushrooms and why? By the way, if you're looking for a cute joke, you can ask, what's a room, but you cannot walk into it? And the answer is mushroom, okay? So that would be a joke. But what is the bracha on mushrooms and why? Why on mushrooms is that bracha? So we have with us Eisen, you are on. Okay. The bracha is shahakol. Okay, now the main question is why?
Because it doesn't really grow. It I guess it grows from water vapor, something like that.
Okay, good. So in other words, I was going to fill. In other words, it doesn't grow from the earth, is what you meant to say. In other words, it grows, right? Yeah. It doesn't grow from the earth, and instead it's a bacteria. So, what's your name? What's your first name?
Bina Aiden.
Yeah, yesterday we had you on, but you fled the scene. We got you on from a second, but I think you weren't prepared. So what Bina is saying is correct, and that is the stuff that grow from the ground are hadama. Okay, that's pre-hadama, fruit from the ground. And that would be like a lettuce or a watermelon. But a mushroom does not grow from the ground. You can actually grow mushroom on plastic. You don't need for it to grow from the ground. What mushroom is really is a fungus. Now, I don't want to, most kids think fungus, they think of, like fungus maybe on their feet. But fungus really means when there is a growth, a bacteria that grows and it becomes a mushroom. And that can grow anywhere. It needs water, which water is from water vapor from the air. It needs other nutrients, but it doesn't grow from the ground. It could grow on a piece of plastic. You sometimes will see fungus growing like where there's mold. Mold is like it's like mold. That's a good example. It's similar to mold, and that's why she's correct. The bracha on it is shakal because it doesn't grow from the ground. Instead, it grows from you could say from the air. That would be the best, but it's not obviously from the air. It gets its nutrients from the air. So that's a correct answer. Thank you very much for coming on. Okay, we're rooting for you to win this, Be'ez Hashem. Okay, that was correct. Wow, that was good. If you look it up in Shulchan Aruch, it talks about it. Wait, let me just see how we mute this. Okay, let's move on with another question. And by the way, important to point out is there are those who make shahakal on potatoes, I think for similar reasons, because it's not necessarily growing from the ground, but I don't want to mix that in. I think it's a separate, I'm not sure if it's in the same category, but mushrooms are shahakol, because they're not growing from the ground. Okay, let's move on with another question before I start the debates. And this is, I guess, what is the bracha that you make if you are smelling a good, delicious esrog? You want to make a bracha on the smell. You pick up an esrog not during Sukkot, not an esrog of mitzvah, because then you're not supposed to be using it. Stam, it's Hanukkah time, you got an esrog, and you love the smell of the esrog, so you want to make a bracha on the esrog. What is the bracha that you're going to make on smelling the esrog? Not eating the esrog, and smelling the esrog. And it's not borei mine esrog. No, that wouldn't be the right. So what is the bracha that you make on the esrog? And we have with us the Schneck brothers. Schneck brothers, you're on. How are you?
Good.
What's the story? How are you doing, Tzaddik?
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem, good. I'm glad to see. So do you know what bracha do you make on smelling an esrog? A tough question, huh?
What I put your whites?
That would be if you're eating it. Ha'etz is if you're eating it. But if I don't want to eat it, I want to just smell it. I want to just take the esrog and go, good smell. What bracha would I make on the smell? That's a tough one. But let me ask you a question. I'm noticing something amazing is that on the bunk bed, who sleeps on that bottom bed, the one you're sitting on? You sit on that bed? You notice, boys, what I'm noticing something amazing. And that is that this tzaddik, he put pictures of tzaddikim on, so he looks up at night and he sees pictures of tzaddikim. Do you want to show it? Can you show it to us?
Yeah.
Show us pictures of tzaddikim. I don't know if you know how to turn the camera on. Look at this tzaddik. He lays in his bed and he looks up. And what does he look up at? Pictures of tzaddikim that he has up there. I see Rav Zev Segal, Rav Shach. And who's the third? Lower it down over there. I'm not sure. Who's the third one?
I don't know.
I don't recognize, but unfortunately, I don't know all the pictures of different tzaddikim. But I think it's a beautiful thing that Motche, right? That's your name?
No, still Dov.
Still Dov.
My
I'm sorry, your brother's Motche. I know. I'm sorry. So Dov, he put pictures of tzaddikim on the top bunk bed. So when he lays at night and he looks up, he's looking up at tzaddikim. What a wonderful, wonderful thing! It was so worth it. You coming on the show just so we could see that. And I'm sorry. I hope I didn't put you on the spot with like spotting it, but I spotted it from the corner of my eye, and I knew I had to ask you about it. Wow, phenomenal. So no, so the bracha is not. Oh, hey.
Oh, we're on now.
What's going on, Tzaddik? Matche.
Oh, hello.
How are you? Maybe you know the answer. What bracha do you make on smelling an esrog?
On smelling an esrog?
Yes.
Some no, not besamim. You make
It can be even a smelling of a good, I don't know what, a good apple. I don't care what. Anything that has a good smell, but it's you're not eating it, you're just smelling it. I stomped you there. Okay, we were just having a discussion about the pictures of tzaddikim that your brother has looking up from his bed. So at night he's looking at the tzaddikim. We love it. We love it. I love this idea. It's great. I think it's phenomenal, and I think he's going to grow up to be a tremendous tzaddik and a Talmid Chacham for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons will be because when he looks up at night, that's what he sees. That's amazing. Okay, so stick around. You'll know the answer soon. Somebody's going to know the answer. Okay. Let's see somebody else who knows the answer to this question. It's a tough question. So we have with us somebody else over here. Hi, what's the answer?
Besamim?
That's close, but no, we don't make besamim. In other words, okay, let me explain. If you would make besamim, you would be yotze, but it's not the correct bracha. If you would make borei mina besamim, you would be yotze, because borei mina besamim is a general bracha for any kind of besamim, whether it's a fruit or it's a plant or it's a spice. That you would be yotze. It wouldn't be considered that you didn't make a bracha, but there is a specific bracha for smelling good smelling fruit. Okay, so it's not the wrong answer. Okay, what do you think? I have over here a live audience, so we give her a chance in the raffle, because it's not the wrong answer. If you'd make besamim, you'd get the answer. Yeah, let's put you in the raffle. What's your name?
Rachel Weil.
Rachel a while. Okay, so we put you in a raffle because the answer, I can't say the answer is wrong. If you would make besamim, you see, eights wouldn't be yotze. If you make eights, it wouldn't be good. You got to eat it. But if you'd make besamim on it, you would be yotze. But it's still, there is a specific bracha to make on it. Okay, good. So let's go and find out what it is. You see, I'm looking on the Alamichia card behind you. Maybe it says it there. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But stick around because there's going to be a question on Alamichia maybe soon. So Alamichia card behind, I thought maybe had it. Okay, it doesn't. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Let's try somebody else who might know the answer. See, maybe today I'm going to get my question that nobody's going to know. Maybe. Let's try. We have with us Leibish Burger. Leibish Burger. How are you, Leibish? Oh, how are you doing, son? Okay, you're back in Florida again. What's there? First of all, we had you one time and you knew the answer so smart, and we have you on again. So tell me, what bracha do you make on it? Anoisen reach tov b'peres. That is correct, Leibish. Anoisen reach tov. No, it's important to understand. So what we had before, what Rachel a while said is you make on it besamim, she would be yotze. And by the way, if you weren't sure and you made besamim, that would be good because Beramid besamim goes for all kinds of besamim. And Motzei Shabbos, by the way, we make the bracha Beramid besamim and we use all kinds of besamim. Different people use different besamim. But when you have a specifically good smelling fruit, the bracha is Hanoisen Reach Tov B'Peres, which translates the one who gives good smell in a fruit. So if
who won the raffle yesterday?
Abish Morgenstern from Lakewood. Okay, but again, you got another chance today, Leibish, and it's good to see you. And keep up the good answers, the smart answers. That's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's right. Hanoisen Reach Tov B'Peres. You can look it up in your siddur. If you think Leibish made it up and it's just me and Leibish have some kind of conspiracy that we decided, you look it up. It's real. Okay, let's try another question before we move on to our debates. And here is the next question. What is the bracha that you make if you see a king? A bracha, if you see a king, what is the bracha that you make if you see a king? And we'll discuss also which kind of king, but let's first discuss is what's the bracha if you see a king? What is the bracha? And we have with us from Lakewood, New Jersey. We have with us from Lakewood, New Jersey. We have phone number 6401. You're on. Hello? We have them, but we don't hear them. I don't know why. Okay, maybe they turned off their,
Hello?
Oh, you're on. How are you, Tzaddik?
Good.
What's your name?
It sounds good.
Oh, how are you? What's going on, Tzaddik? I should have recognized the number. Good to see you, Nisano. I mean, not see you, hear you. But when I hear you, I can see you smile again. So what's the answer?
The answer is guys.
Ooh, look at that. Nisano is asking if it's from a Yid or a Goy. Look at the Talmidei Chacham that we have. Well, let's pick a Goy.
Okay, so a guy is
that is correct. The bracha is that we're saying is that the Eibishter gave some of his covet that belongs only to the Eibishter to a basar v'dam. And the Stano got the answer correct is that there is a difference between a Yiddish Koenig and a Goyish Koenig, because for Yiddish Koenig, I think you add a few words. What do you add for Yiddish Koenig?
My brother Shem is gonna say.
Okay. So what Shimmy is saying is, and we're going to put Shimmy in the raffle as well, because he also got this one right. What Shimmy is saying is that when it's a Yid, you say not Stam Basar V'Dam, you add the words the Yereov, the people of Yerei Shemayim, because Yiddish Koenigs were Yerei Shemayim, David HaMelech, Shaul HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, So correct. So for a goyish king, you say shecholak mikvoido lebos of adam, that had given had given his part of his boss of adam to a person, a human. And for a Yiddish king, you add the array of. That is correct. That is a fantastic answer. Thank you very much, both of you, for coming on the show. That is correct answer. I just want to add one point. Today, it's going to be very hard to make that brocha because the king, what does the king mean? The Queen of England would not be counted. I'm sorry to disappoint all our Torontonian friends that are living under Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth the 15th or whatever. She's not considered a queen because, I mean, she's a queen, but she's not considered a queen for this bracha because she cannot kill without a court. Meaning to say a king has to be, is that he is capable of killing without a court. Back in the day, if a king said, chop somebody's head off, chop, it went. They didn't ask questions. It didn't have to be with the court. And that is the kind of king that we're talking about, that you make the bracha. If it's a king like the Queen of England, that all they do really is that they have some title and they eat dinners and they eat more dinners and they sign papers and they take pictures and they go with crowns and coaches. That's not the queen or king that we're talking about. So today, that, you know, it would be very hard to make that kind of a bracha. Maybe in Saudi Arabia, they have kings over there that can do that possible. Okay, let's move on with another question. And right afterwards, we're going to start our debate because we still have to stick in a little bit of our guesty intro game. Okay, one more question over here. One more question. How is it possible that I'm eating a cracker and I do not have to make a bracha? And don't tell me because I already washed for hamoitzi. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm eating a cracker. I'm holding a cracker in my hand. I'm about to eat it. I don't have to make a bracha. Why is that? How is that possible? And we're not talking about that I'm in the middle of a meal. No, not in middle of a meal. And let's see, we have with us again, let's see, we have the Brax. How are you doing? I hope the sound is working. Oh, Gewalt, where's the sound for the Brach family? What's going on? Your sound, you have to make sure your sound is enabled. We see you. We see your lips moving. You're unmuted, so it's not on our end. Oh, wow. That's tough because we want to hear from him. I can tell he has the right answer. I can see in his eyes that he has the right answer, but it's not working. And last time, I think his father also tried, and it didn't. Let me ask you a question. Are you on a computer? Or you on a computer or like a laptop? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what to do for tomorrow. When you log on, okay, when you go on, you're joining the Zoom meeting. It asks you if to enable computer audio. Okay, you might have not even looked at it. You just maybe press no. It asks you if to enable computer audio. And that's what you need to do, is you need to press yes to enable computer audio. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. We're gonna try to take a question that is an easier question. I'm going to, because I feel bad. It's the second time this is happening to him. I'm going to give you a question that I want you to go and write down the answer on a pen and paper. I'm going to meantime take another boy and I'm going to come back to you. So get a hold of a pen and paper. Send one of your siblings and come back with a pen and a paper, and we're going to ask you this question. Okay, so stay tuned. We're going to get right back to you. I don't know why that happens to them, is that they get this, you know, we're trying on our end to unmute, it doesn't go. I mean, whatever, it says unmuted, but unmute. Then for some reason it doesn't go. Okay, we sent them scrambling now to get a pen and a paper. Okay, in the meantime, let's try and find somebody else for this one. We'll get back to them with a different question. So we're going back with this question. And the question was, how's it possible? I'm holding a cracker in my hand and I put it in my mouth and I don't make a bracha. Chas v'shalom. How is that possible? Let us pick a boy over here. We got with us DK. DK, you're on. Turn on your phone. DK Tzaddik. I know whoever DK is. If you can turn on your video. You hear DK breathing. That's good. Breathing is important. but we can do more. DK, can you turn on your video? You don't have to if you don't want. It's okay. If not, just tell us the answer, DK. Hello? Okay, I don't know what happened to DK. Okay, we lost DK. We lost DK. Okay. We have back with us the Brach boys. Okay. Let's see that. You brought back a pen and paper? Okay. So could you write down the answer to this question? We're still in the same question of how is it possible I'm eating a cracker and I'm not making a bruch on it. Write it down in English and Yiddish, not in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I don't write it in Spanish. I'm going to have it translated. Okay? And yeah, that's going to be fun. It's going to be like a silent, a silent show. A silent show. But again, I think tomorrow you should just check when you start that you enable the sound. Okay, when you're ready, hold it up to the screen. When you're ready, like hold it up to the screen whenever you're ready. Okay? Okay, look at that. Okay. Okay, slowly pull it back a little bit. Pull it back a little bit. If you eat it with something else more important. Yay, he got the answer right. You see, look at that. You think the Yetzer Hara said, hey, I'm not going to let Brach give an answer. We're going to stop, turn off the sound. The Yetzer Hara got into his, put a coronavirus in the sound. No more sound. No, they have the answer. If you eat something more important, so I'm going to give you an example. Since all you can probably like herring very much. I do, so I hope you do too. And if you take the herring with the thing, and you want to eat the herring. You don't want to eat the cracker. You want to eat herring. But the problem with herring is that it's too salty and it's too oily. So you need a cracker and you need something to take away the salt. So you eat like a bland cracker. If you ever noticed the kichel that they have for herring, it doesn't have any flavor. It tastes like sheetrock. They have for the kids, they have the sugar kichel. But for the adults, the kichel tastes like sheetrock. Now somebody said to me once, Rabbi Cohen, how do you know it tastes like sheetrock? Did you ever taste sheetrock? It's a separate question. I'm telling you, it tastes like sheetrock. So if you take the kichel to eat the herring, you really want to eat the herring. You don't want to eat the kichel. So you don't have to make a bracha on the cracker. You don't have to make a bracha on the cracker. You make a shahakal and you eat the cracker. Now, so somebody might say, well, that's only if there was mamish like a piece of cracker and a piece of herring on it. But what happens when you finish the herring and you still have a piece of cracker? It says in Shulchan Aruch, finish the cracker. It's not a problem. It's called ikar and tafel. Ikar and tafel means what's the ikar, the main thing I'm eating, the herring, and tafel, what's coming on the side. And by the way, that's the reason after you wash on a moitzi, you don't have to make a bracha on the other foods because everything compared to bread is a tafel. So yes, I'm so glad is that we got the Brach family to give us the right answer here on paper. They got it right. Is ikar and tafel. So thank you very much for coming on. I'm going to mute you, even though we can't hear you, but I'm going to mute you. Okay, let us begin the debates. Phenomenal. Okay. Let us begin with the debates. Wow. You know what? I don't think there'll be time for debates. It's going to be only for guessing for, You know what? Why not? Let's start a debate. Worst comes to worst, we'll go a little bit over time. Let's do one debate question. Okay. And the debate question I want to know, and this anybody can participate, is it better to be an oldest or a youngest? Now, if you think it's better to be an oldest, raise your hand. Whether you are an oldest or you think it's better to be an oldest, if you believe being an oldest is better, we want to hear from you. So please let us know. And then, of course, we want to hear from those who disagree. So let us go right over here. We got with us. Sorry. Oops, trying to unmute. There's sometimes too many names at one time. And whoops, why is it not going? Okay, there we go. We got with us the Chaverimboyz. Whoops, wait a second. Let me unmute you. It didn't go the first time for some reason. Okay, the Chaverimboyz. You are on. Let's just see them. How are you doing, Chaverimboyz?
Good.
Baruch Hashem. So, first of all, who's answering this question? Is it the whole family agrees? You're answering. So are you an oldest?
No.
You're not an oldest.
I'm oldest boy.
You're the oldest boy, but above you, you have another few mommies, right? Besides your regular mommy, you have a bunch of other mommies who tell you what to do, right? Okay, so you think it's better to be an oldest? Okay,
Yeah.
why?
First, you get more privileges.
What kind of privileges?
Well, you're older, so like first of all, nobody can fight with you, and you know your parents find you much.
Nobody can fight with you. Wow, wait, let's slow that down. Okay, nobody can fight with you because you're an oldest. Okay, I like that. Okay, because nobody's above you to fight with you. Okay, one more.
Me?
Yeah, continue. And what else?
And because people they trust you more, you know, you're the first one to get their trust in the family.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, there is an older sister than you who has more privileges. They trust her more, and nobody fights with her. And you wish you could be that oldest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stay on the line here while we ask. We're going to lower all the hands, and somebody who feels being the youngest is the best should raise a hand. Somebody who feels being the youngest is the best should raise a hand and tell us why. You know, let me find somebody who feels being the youngest is the best. Let's see. We have with us.
Mother,
We have with us Simi Schwartz. Hold on. Simi Schwartz, can you start the video so we can, if you want, you have to. The Schwartz family. Okay, Simi Schwartz. Yes, okay. What do you feel being the youngest? What's the Sibir? We got the bridge. Okay, whoops. It seems like they went on a hike. A beautiful day in California. And instead of answering the question, they decided to go on a hike. Okay. Is anybody coming on to answer?
That your mother likes you more.
Your mother likes you more when you're the youngest?
Yeah.
That's what you feel? Are you a youngest or an oldest?
Youngest.
You are the youngest. Okay, by the way, make sure that your face is in the thing because we only see your eyes. Okay, so you lower the, yeah, that's better. So Simi Schwartz feels being the youngest is better because your mother likes you more. But I think that what the Halfmans are saying is that everybody fights with you. Does everybody fight with you?
No fight.
Does everybody fight with you?
Yeah.
But you still rather be youngest. Let me see what the Hassemboyz are saying. Hassemboyz, Simi Schwartz says that it's better to be youngest because your mother likes you more. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
You disagree. What do you feel?
Because she claims if it's bad to be youngest because people fight with you, then her mother should stop it. So I don't think her mother does that. So I don't think that it's better to be younger.
Simi, you hear what the Hassemboyz are saying? They're saying that if the mother likes the youngest the most, then she shouldn't let them fight with her. That's a tough question. Let's see what somebody else gives us. Okay, Simi, stay on the line, Simi. We want to see what somebody else says about being the youngest. Let's see what we have with us. Castillo Blum. How are you, Castillo? Are you the youngest or oldest?
I'm second youngest.
Second to youngest. So what do you think? You think it's better to be youngest?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Because you get more attention.
You get more attention. So we have over here, I mean, I think Simi Schwartz was saying the same thing, but the Hassemboyz are all about being the oldest. Let me bring the Hassemboyz back over here. Hassemboyz, what do you feel? I mean, you know, the attention goes to the youngest. Now, I think here's what's happening. What's your first name?
No, it's not true. The attention is never to the
What's your
youngest.
first name? Remind me. You're not Shmuley. What's your first name?
Yossi.
Yossi. So, Yossi, I think here's what's happening. You got a half a haircut here. You're not the oldest, and you're not the youngest. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm using it. Meaning to say is you're not the oldest, and you're not the youngest. Who's the youngest by you?
A baby.
Okay, so we have to ask the baby because it may
2
be
years old.
stuck. You're
won't talk to you.
You're stuck. You're not the oldest, and you're not the youngest.
So I know I have a good point.
Either that, or you're simply like a burn from both sides. You
I have a good point.
like this.
So I should know.
You have the guys. Here's what's happening. All your sisters are fighting with you, and you're not attention.
They're not.
They're bossing you around?
No.
Okay. You're okay.
I'm just saying a comment. I'm saying in general.
Oh, you're just giving an opinion in general. Okay. So we really have this. I think here's the thing. I think we can look at it two ways. We could say Yossi Hoffman knows it. Or we could say, look, he really doesn't have nothing.
Lipa's in it.
And not okay. So let us bring on somebody for the last word. I want to have somebody for the last word. Somebody for the last word. Let's see what we can have over here. Somebody for the last word. There we go.
Does this still mean I'm never picked?
No. Okay, how are you doing? We got this whole family here. Leon Hora, they have mazel, they come on every time. I don't mean to pick them. I don't even know who they are. I mean to say when they show up on the list. The Eberstedt fears I should pick them. What do you guys feel? Okay, this is going to be a lot of opinion. Youngest or oldest?
Oldest. Youngest.
Oh, okay, look at that. You see, this is the real answer. It depends where you are. Raise your hand. Okay, boys, raise your hand if you want to be oldest. If oldest is better, raise your hand. The youngest. The oldest guy says youngest. The youngest guy say oldest.
Youngest.
Why do you feel youngest?
He's younger than me.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I got it. I got it. So I think what I could tell you is that most guys want to be what they're not. The oldest don't want to be oldest. The youngest don't want to be youngest. The middle don't want to be middle. Everybody wants to be something else. My son Chaim is the youngest. Chaim, what do you feel? Let's bring on Chaim, my son. Chaim, what do you want to be? You say you want to be young? Well, what do you like about being young?
The older guys are just like rubbing away.
So nobody bothers you being the youngest? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I guess it depends on family experiences. Okay, so I appreciate everybody's opinion here. I think that Simi Schwartz's opinion is some truth to it. We need to say definitely the youngest, they get a lot of attention. And I think Yossi Hoffman seems very adamant. Yossi Hoffman, I got to give Yossi Hoffman the last word over here because Yossi Hoffman is really adamant. Yossi, go right ahead. Tell us your thoughts, give us one last final thought.
And if you're younger, you still have to go through the whole cycle of school.
Okay.
Which is not good. Nobody wants to go through all the grades again.
What do you mean again? Everybody goes through it once.
Yeah, but if you're younger, then you still take more time.
If you still want to be younger,
then you still gonna have more time to go again.
You're thinking that the guys who are older now to switch back to become younger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, you're talking about
Well, if you can turn back time, then you really were never in school.
All right.
Complicated. Okay, Yossi, so don't worry about it. When we invent time machines, we'll have to work on those details.
Does that still mean that I get into the raffle?
No, the raffle is not for debates.
So can I still write NP? Because I want to be in the raffle.
NP, yeah. And I was not picked for a question for the raffle. Yeah, that makes sense. You can still write NP.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So right now, even though we're running late in the show, I promised to have the guess the intro game. So I wanted to be able to do the guess the intro game. Just, even just a couple of songs. So let's do that right now. We play the intro. You guess which intro it is. And, by the way, I want to tell you, the boys and the girls who are, getting on and giving opinions, it's a very healthy, positive thing that you have an opinion and you stick to it, and you can voice your opinion. And every opinion is important, even if there's no right opinion. The only time we have a right opinion is when the Torah tells us that's the opinion. Then we mavatal our own opinions to the Torah's opinion. But when it comes to such a thing as oldest and youngest, those opinions, it's very important that you voice your opinion. Okay, so right now we're going to play a song, and you're going to tell us if you know what that intro is. We're going to play the intro, and you're going to take a listen and hopefully know what it is. Take a listen. Okay. If you know what song that is and who composed it, then raise your hand and let us know. Okay, let us see. There we go. Let's see. Okay, we have with us. How are you doing, boys?
Good.
What's your last names? I mean, I recognize some of you. I don't recognize all. What is it?
Hoffman. Michelle.
Hoffman. Okay, Hoffman. I know he's my camper, so I recognize. The others I did not recognize. Okay, Michelle. Is that the last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming this year.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. But anyways, if you're a friend of my friend, you're my friend. So the fact that you know Hoffman, you're awesome. Okay, so whose song is this?
Shmuel Younger.
Shmuel Younger. That's true. And what's the name of the song? Woo! Spot on. That's correct. So who do we put into the raffle?
Me. Michelle. Because it's our computer. It's our computer.
Okay, so let me tell you, the good news is that this week the raffle is for an art package, which means it comes from a company that prepares a $30 box of a bunch of crafts, stuff to do at home. So this way, it's not only a win for you, it's a win for your parents also. So what the good news is that if we're going to put down over here the Moshel gang, and what's going to happen is that if you win, you're going to, when you get the package right after the show, you can, do the crafts together, make a big craft. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and you were spot on. Okay, let's move on with another song over here. How do these kids know these songs? What is it that about me? I think, what I discover is that, because I'm, from the 1980s, I think that the memory then came very small. It's not like today everything comes big memory, like big memory chips. I would never remember some of these songs. Okay, take a listen to the following song. Okay. I don't know what the intro that is. I would have never known. I mean, that can be an intro to anything. That can be to Shiv, Chikamayim. I mean, I don't know. Okay, but let's see. We got a lot of boys who say they know what song that was. Let's find out if they actually know which one it is. Okay, we got with us the Chaverimboyz. Chaverimboyz. How are you, Tzaddik?
Good.
What's the name of the song?
Ovinu, Benny Friedman.
It is Benny Friedman, but it's not Ovinu. It's Benny Friedman, but what's the name of the song? Come on.
Blessings in my life.
Which one, sorry?
Blessings in my life.
No, not blessings in your life, even though you should have a lot of blessings in your life, Be'ez Hashem. But it's not. I'm going to give you a hint, okay? You want a hint?
Yeah.
Okay, the hint is Yehi Oyer.
Klanu Ka'echad?
No, how does Klanu Ka'echad fit with Yehi Oyer? Yehi Oyer. Yehi Oyer, there should be?
Light.
Good. So you almost got the whole thing. So what's the name of the song?
Light, something light.
Come on, have your older brother help you. Why is he sitting there to the side, that Tzaddik?
Light?
Light, yeah. Okay, let's give it to him. He knew it's Benny Friedman. Let's give it to him. The name of the song is Fill the World with Light. Fill the world with light. Tzaddik, why are you so shy? What's going on? I haven't seen you since camp. Look at that smile. Awesome to see you. What's your first name, Tzaddik? Binyamin. Okay, Binyamin Solomon. You see, you got to know. He knew it's Benny Friedman. and took some guesses there. Yeah, but this is Fill the Word with Light. Take a listen. And this is what he said. He said, but that's not the name of the song. That's why I knew he got it right. But the name of the song is Fill the Word with Light. So it was fair to give him a hint. And that was the next thing he said, blessings in my life. So you knew everything about the song other than the name of the song. But that was amazing. You knew the song. So thank you, guys. I just wanted to play it so guys can know that I'm being fair with you. They're not going to say, hey, Rubicon likes the Solomons more than us. He knew the song. He knew which song, but he just couldn't pinpoint the name. Okay, that was awesome, Chaverimboyz. Good to see you. And we're running a little bit over time, but we got to do another song. I love this guessing the intro because I'm learning about songs. Maybe now I'm going to know songs a little bit more. So let's try another one. Let's try another one song and see what happens. We're going to lower all the hands again, and then we're going to start another song. This is going to be a hard one. Whoa, it's going to be hard. No, we shouldn't do it. It's too hard. I have over here my co-producer is saying it's too hard. So instead, I should do a hard. Okay, we're going to do a hard one. Okay, so yeah, we gave away really because it was hard. We gave away 2-3 words of this song. If you know what song it is, let us know and we will be happy to. Okay, we got with us Hershey Katz.
Right.
Hey, Hershey, how you doing, Tzadik? It's good to see you, Hershey. You lost a tooth since the summer.
No, it's not. It's Simcha
Liner.
Simcha Liner?
Yeah.
It's not Simcha Liner.
Mordechai Shapiro.
It's not Mordechai Shapiro either. First of all, how you doing, Tzadik? What happened to your What happened to your tooth?
He's asking you what happened to your tooth. He's asking you what happened to your tooth.
It fell out.
Fell out? Did you save it?
I don't have it anymore.
You don't have it. Did you get $1 for the tooth?
What?
Did you get $1 for the tooth?
Not yet.
Not yet. You got to tell your mommy that the rule for all mommies and kids is you got to give $1 for each tooth that falls out. I mean, she doesn't have to listen to me. I mean, but it's my suggestion is that it's $1 for each tooth that falls out. Okay. I think it's a little bit slow over there, the connection. Heshi a little bit froze in time. Let's see if he comes back. Oh, Heshi, you're back. So Heshi, you want to take one last guess? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Lorna Sickler Code.
Lorna Sickler Code, that's right. And who sings it?
Ari Goldman.
Ari Goldwag. Ari Goldwag. A little bit was lost in the translation there. Okay, that is right. It is Ari Goldwag, and it's Lorna Sickler Code. Do you know what the meaning of the words Lorna Sickler Code means?
We do not stop dancing.
We do not stop dancing.
Okay, do you dance, by the way? Do you dance? If I put on the music, would you dance for us so we can all see?
No.
You don't have to. You already entered the raffle.
No.
You don't want to? That's okay. Even though in the summer we dance a lot, you know that. So yes, this is the thing. We can put it on. You want to try a little dance? No?
Yeah, I guess.
No.
Your sisters are saying, yeah, you don't have to listen to your sisters. You only have to listen to your mom. You don't have to listen to your sisters. Just get as a rule. So, if your sisters say, yeah, you can say, well, I'm going to ask mommy, and whatever mommy says. And I think, mommy would respect. If you don't want to get up and dance, that's fine. But keep on smiling like that, because I can stare at that smile for a whole afternoon. Okay? It's awesome to see you. Okay, Heshi, we miss you. Do you miss Cam Chaverim?
Yeah.
Oh, we miss you too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Hopefully you're going to win. Okay, thank you very much, Heshi Katz, for coming on the show. And right now we're going to end the show for today. Oh, we have so many more questions to get to, and we have so many more debate questions to get to, and so many more songs. But Be'ez Hashem, we're going to come back tomorrow. So right now, as we end the show, remember that we have the voting going on still for another day. So have your, uncles and aunts and everybody go out there and vote for your art or other people's art on that site that I sent in the, I sent it out in the, on the Chaverim group. So you should have gotten that, and that's where to go vote. And right now, go and take 10 minutes and ask your parents what they can do to help, to help. Ask mommy, tati, uncle, aunt, what can I do to help? Because your parents are working very hard. You're home all day, which as wonderful as you are, it's not easy for the parents. Take 10 minutes to help them, and then we will see you, Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for participating. This is Chaverimboyz, Day 10. Have a wonderful day.